Hello, my name is Brandon Pendleton, and I'm here to present to you the new employee experience. In this session, I'm going to focus on an onboarding process for bringing employees into your organization. I'm going to start by talking about what it is and why it's important, and then I'm going to walk you through the specific steps of an onboarding process. And then I'm going to kind of give you some parameters on the different generations of employees that are out there. And the reason that's important is because that information will be key when you're designing a quality onboarding process, having an understanding of what kind of makes these employees tick based on the generation that they come from. So let's jump into this subject. Employees and onboarding. Why does it matter? Okay, well first, before you can talk about why it matters, you need to have a clear understanding of what really matters to today's new employee. Now, obviously, money, right? Getting paid, making money, we understand that. But beside that piece, what are some of the things that are really, really important to today's employee? Well, there are a number of things that are important. And I kind of want to highlight a number of this. Purpose. Today's employees are looking for jobs where they don't feel like they're just getting a paycheck, but they feel like that what they're doing is adding some kind of value. And not only that, employees more and more are seeking opportunities that align with their own value system to give them purpose when they're at work. Whether that's working for, let's say, a nonprofit organization because they want to give back, working for a technology organization because they want to help move the world forward, working for a healthcare organization because they want to care for people that may be in need. The point is, today's employee is really focused on finding things that they think give them this kind of sense of purpose. Another thing employees are looking for in today's world is a sense of connection with their coworkers. Gone are the days where people walk into these jobs and they just want to do their own thing and go home. Especially today's generation, in this world of social media and these types of things, and we're going to talk a little later about what kind of defines the different generations. These employees today like to feel connected with their coworkers. They like to feel connected with their supervisors and other people in the organization. They like to have fun. I mean, think about it. You spend a majority of your time at work, so it shouldn't feel like a grind. So today's employees more and more are looking for a place where not only they can feel like, hey, I'm making a living and I'm doing something that I like, but that it's also fun. They also want to be challenged, okay? They don't really like work that's easy for them. They like to feel mentally stimulated. They like to feel like they've stretched themselves. A number of these new employees have increased their education, either through going to college, community colleges, or even through learning on their own. And they want to feel like they're putting those new skills to use in some way, shape, or form. They want to feel empowered, okay? Today's workforce is all about feeling like you are giving me the power to make change within your organization. By change, I mean you're kind of giving me the keys to your castle to go and reach the goals that you have set forth. So today's employees are looking for ways to feel empowered about what it is you've hired them to do. I think it goes without saying inclusiveness is a big thing. Here's something to think about. In about the next 20 to 25 years, people of color in the United States of America will actually be the numeric majority, people of color collectively. More women are entering the workplace. More women are graduating from college, okay? So we're in this world now where being inclusive is huge. Not only is it big business, it's starting to become an expectation. So today's employee, think about it, they're growing up in environments where they're seeing people from all races, ethnicities, sexual orientations, etc. In addition to that, we're also in a time where we have five different generations of employees in the workplace at the same time, which I'm going to talk about here in a second in more detail. So the point is, today's employee is looking for this sense of inclusiveness. And then opportunity, okay? Opportunity, culture, and community. What do I mean by that? Well, with the culture and community part, those two kind of go hand in hand. Culture is defined as shared values, beliefs, and practices that define a group of people. So today's employees, going back to that purpose, are looking to work in an organization where they feel like they have a cultural fit, where they fit in with other people who share their same values. Doing that is what gives them this sense of community. they're in a place where they belong. Okay, that leads to some of the things I talked about earlier, this sense of connection that they have and this empowerment. And finally, when you put all of that together, they just want to have opportunities within an organization to succeed. So today's worker looking for a lot of things. And in order to make sure that you are touching on all of these things, it's important that you put together a very high quality onboarding process and also understanding the characteristics that make up the different generations coming in the workplace today. So when we talk about this new employee experience, why is it even important to develop something like this? Well, first and foremost, it helps an employee develop a bit of an emotional commitment to the organization. Think about some of those things that I just talked about earlier. A lot of those things are rooted in emotional commitment. So when you put together this onboarding process, it helps an employee develop that. It leads to employees giving extra effort because they feel like they're invested. When they're invested emotionally in your company, they genuinely care about your company. And when they genuinely care about your company, then that means they're going to be willing to go above and beyond to make sure you reach the goals of the organization and you get done what it is you're trying to achieve. Having this new employee experience will help you develop trust between your employees and you as the managers. When you have that trust, what's the result? You have better results, you have higher collaboration, and the quality of the work tends to go up. As I'm sure you've heard before and you know probably firsthand, trust is a foundation of any working relationship. So when you have this new employee experience and you put together a solid onboarding process that helps them connect emotionally, this is a big step in building that level of trust that we talked about. And then finally, the new employee experience helps organizations be more deliberate in integrating a new employee into the organization and start to help them develop a good employee experience. Think about it. Remember back when you were a new employee, right? You're new, you don't understand how things go, you don't even know anybody around. Well, if you put together a new employee experience, it's going to help make that a lot smoother for an employee. It's going to help them feel better about coming into the organization. As I said in my intro, I worked for a number of companies. Some companies actually had some sort of a new employee experience program, and some companies didn't. And speaking quite candidly, I still have very vivid memories of the companies that had it. I remember walking in the door and the fact that they had a very specific onboarding process laid out for me. I knew what I was doing on the first day that I got there, the first week that I was there, and the first 90 days. It was all laid out. And I can honestly say, going through that process, it made me feel more connected to the organization. I felt more invested in the organization. And consequently, I just felt like I wanted to do a better job for the organization. So think about how powerful a tool something like that is for you in your organizations. Putting together this experience is going to hit on a lot of those things I talked about and make an employee want to be a part of your organization. So what we're going to do now is talk some specifics about how this new employee experience all kind of comes together and what are some of the things you should do to build this emotional connection that I've been talking about.